Okay, motion made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion to approve? No discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None opposed? Then the motion carries. Next item under new business is item A, David Lesensky for Germantown Acquisitions LLC, property owner of 4.5 acres at Elm Lane and Wasaki Road, known as Phase 2 of Woodland Ponds Estates, Old Lot Certified Survey Map, and action is required on that. So to give us some more information on this, I'll turn the meeting over to, is it the Community Development Director, Jeff Retzloff?
Correct.
There, I think I got this unmoving thing down here. All right. David Lesensky, again for Germantown Acquisitions, is requesting approval of a 4-lot certified survey map for Outlot 4 of the Woodland Ponds Estates subdivision located north of Elm Lane and west of Wasaki Road. The site is zoned RS3 single family, and as shown on the screen, it's located at the northwest corner of the Elm Lane and Wasaki Road intersection. The approved subdivision plat for the entire Woodland Ponds Estate subdivision is shown on the screen. And phase 1 included 12 lots, and at that time it was planned that lot 4 would be redivided to 4 lots as part of a phase 2 development. The proposed CSM is shown on the screen, 4 lots, accessed by a short and new cul-de-sac, Elm Court. The entire property is 4.6 acres in size, divided into 4 new single-family lots, 4 out of a total of 16 for the entire subdivision. The lot size is just over an acre for each of the 4 lots. All 4 are served by on-site well and septic systems. Phase 1 had a development agreement that needed to be revised to address the additional development of Outlot 4 in Phase 2. It will also need to address include need for deed restrictions and covenants to address maintenance responsibility for Outlot 5 and some private drainage easements, as well as to ensure installation of minimum landscaping required for each of the 4 lots. There was also a need to amend and revise the street tree landscaping plan for Elm Court and Elm Lane that will need to be provided prior to recording the CSM. The village surveyor had identified a number of items that needed to be corrected in a memorandum dated October 12th. Those have since been addressed and are reflected in the current CSM. At this point, the staff recommendation is to approve the proposed 4-lot certified survey map, subject to a total of 6 conditions that we can read if necessary. Thank you.
Commissioners, any questions?
Let's go ahead and...
This is Commissioner Ellis. And Jeff, I had a question on one of your comments here in the report. You referenced a payment for reconstruction of Elm Lane, and the fact that that has not been submitted yet. Did you need to include a condition in the recommendation to address that, or I guess how is that going to be addressed?
I'm sorry, if that's a question for Jeff, I couldn't hear any of that. It's just too dark.
Yeah, so maybe this is going to be a little better. In your report, you had suggested, or you referenced the payment for the reconstruction of Ed Lane, and that the developer was going to be, I'm going to switch microphones here. Hopefully this is better. But the payments for reconstruction of Ed Lane, it appears that has not happened yet. How is that going to be addressed? I don't see it in your recommendation, in your conditions of your recommendation. I guess I was just curious how that was going to be covered. That's the second one I've tried so far.
Can you guys hear me? This is Tony Wachowski. Can you hear me?
It sounds much better.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Okay. I believe there was a comment in the staff report, Jeff, about paying a fee, correct me if I'm wrong, for the reconstruction of Elm Lane. And Commissioner Nilles was wondering if that needed to be included as a condition of approval. Is that, Commissioner Nilles, is that you're okay with that? Okay.
second.
Motion made and seconded. Who was the second on that?
Tony Wachowski.
All right, motion made and seconded. Any discussion? No discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None opposed? Motion carries. All right, that'll then take us to our next item under new business, which is item B, Christy Peterson and Chad, I'm going to butcher this name, I apologize for that, Huberties, applicants of Plaza and Reflect Holdings LLC, North 112, and review for pet grooming business. This time I'll turn the meeting over to Emily Zand, our Associate Planner, or Community Development Director Jeff Renslaw.
Thank you, Chairman Walter. The applicant is requesting, or is proposing to open a pet grooming salon on the subject property located at N112W15490 Mequon Road. The zoning of this site is B3 General Business. There's B3 General Business to the east, which is a residential property, as well as B3 General Business to the west, and that is commercial. To the north, there's a RM2 multifamily residential district, and then to the south is a B1 neighborhood business district. The business expects to employ 3 full-time pet groomers and 1 manager who will assist with the animal bathing. The business will be open 6 days per week and will provide services for scheduled appointments and walk-ins. Pause and Reflect will not offer any overnight boarding services. As presented in the site development and building plans, the proposed improvements to the property include the relocation of the existing driveway from Mequon Road, approximately 70 feet to the east of the existing driveway, which will be removed. 6-stall paved parking area with 1 ADA compliant parking space, a new concrete walkway, ADA compliant ramp and entry stoop, new landscaping on the south side of the proposed parking area, and interior renovations to convert the use from an existing dwelling, which was built in 1953, to a pet grooming business. The proposed parking area will include a total of 6 stalls. The proposed modified access to the site will require a driveway permit from the Department of Public Works. Vehicles will be able to back out of stalls, which will eliminate the need for them to back onto Mequon Road. The proposed parking area does meet the setbacks requirements of our zoning chapter. The proposed stormwater management, in terms of stormwater management, the proposed improvements will increase the impervious surface on the site to just under 20%. There's a 90% maximum allowed in the B3 General Business District, so that will leave over 80% of the property as green or open space. There will be no major changes to the grade of the site. In terms of utilities, there is an existing storm catch basin in the location of the proposed new driveway. This will require some changes to the frame, the grate, and the top of the structure. An inspection will be required by Public Works prior to pouring the curb. Landscaping is proposed along the south edge of the parking area. The applicant has not yet submitted a detailed landscaping plan. This has been added as a condition of approval for the site plan application. Planning staff does recommend that evergreen landscaping be added to the east side of the proposed parking lot. And further, the addition of street trees north of the right-of-way line along Mequon Road. These have been added as conditions of approval. There's no exterior lighting plan for the site at this time. If in the future exterior lighting were proposed, the lighting plan would need to be reviewed and approved by the Plan Commission. The applicant will submit an application for signage in the future for review and approval by the Plan Commission. As we discussed, staff has recommended a couple landscaping conditions. The Department of Public Works has issued a memo with plan corrections dated November 3rd. We have received a revised site plan from the applicant, but that we have not had time to have the Public Works Department review that at this time. There is conditional approval recommending all outstanding items be addressed prior to issuance of a building permit. So it's staff's recommendation to approve the site plan and building plans for the proposed pet grooming business at N112W15490 Mequon Road, subject to 7 conditions. And we can go through those if you have any questions on them.
Commissioners, any questions?
This is Mr. Leshevsky. I've got one question on the stump just west of the driveway. Can that be seen from Mequon Road? I know there's one on the east side of that driveway that's supposed to be removed, and there's another one on the west side.
This site plan shows the one
Because it's,
directly west of the existing driveway that will be removed.
yeah, there's, on the plan, the site plan, it shows 2. There's a stump, a tree, and then another stump. You can see it on that plan there. Do you see it?
Yep. Is that something you would like to add as a condition? I'm thinking if it's not,
I didn't see it, but I guess the question is, can you see it? Is it unsightly from Mequon Road?
let's see, I could try and pull up Google Maps to see what we can
I don't
see.
think you can see it. Well, you could. You could, yeah.
Jeff is the current property owner. So, yeah, that one.
The west one?
Yeah.
What do you mean by, can you see it very
Well,
visually or?
yeah. I mean, sometimes you see these look like picket fences of stumps.
If you ever drive on that one road, you can't take your eyes off on that one road. I don't really know.
I believe on that side of the property.
If you-
Below the.
Okay.
Yeah, if you could come up and just speak into the microphone, that way people on the WebEx can hear you. That'd be great. Thank you.
It's pretty de minimis, but...
And then state your name.
This is Chad Hubricks with Pause and Reflect. I believe on the west side of the property, the land dips down below the level of the road, so I believe on that side, the stump would be below road level, which would be more difficult to view. I don't know if it's visible or not from the road, though.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's 3 feet below the road grade, so, okay. I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Did we lose everybody?
Dean, I think you're muted.
Is this still veterinary business?
What?
No, it was previously a residence.
Okay. Other questions? Commissioners?
My question is, I just related to about the parking area. I know that you guys had 6 stalls, we have 4, is that right, 4 full-time employees, and one of the spaces is going to be ADA compliant, so that would leave one, one open, non-ADA compliant space other than your employees. And then also, the second question is the lighting. Do we have any required lighting for parking lots for, nighttime with, there's going to be no lights in the parking lot? I'm just curious about that.
Do you want to address? Yeah.
We have a specific requirement that requires there be parking lot lighting. Only minimum standard is parking lot lighting is provided.
Hi, my name is Christy Peterson. I was going to say there is an outdoor lighting guideline that's provided by the Village of Germantown. Specifically in there, it says that it talks about needing lighting if it's 24 hours. We definitely fall into the category of what's called like local merchant or like low business, and it talked about not needing additional lighting. And it also talked about like wanting to keep Germantown like having a rural look and stuff like that. So we don't want to add like glaring or big like crazy lighting because we're not going to be doing any overnight stuff. So if it's not needed, we didn't want to add anything like that.
Do you want to address the parking question? The number of spaces?
Yeah, I'll let Chad address that one.
Sure, this is Chad Hubex again. So both of the business owners, we live together and would be carpooling if we are working at the same time. And all 3 employees won't necessarily be working on every single day. And so we don't plan on having more than 3 of those spots taken up by employee vehicles at any one time.
Hey, can you give us a kind of a synopsis of what that was?
Yeah, if you can hear me, I'll try to say it a little louder. Basically that me and Chad will be living together, so we will only be taking up 1 parking spot. And then our other 2 employees, we won't necessarily all be working at the same time, so that would be 3 parking spots that we would be using. And then the customers that will be coming to drop off their pets, it's not a type of service that they would be staying for, so it's not something that we would need a large parking lot for.
Okay. And that's in regards to the parking stalls of Mr. Williams' question, that most of it's a drop off and pick up, and there's no length of time being spent while people are there.
Correct.
Okay. Other questions? No other questions? Motion?
I move approval of the building plans for including the requirements outlined by the staff.
Motion made, do I have a second?
I'll second. Mr. Will, second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion on the motion to approve. No discussion? Then all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Are there any opposed? None opposed? Motion carries. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for being here in regards to this item. Next item under new business is William and Andrea Aberman, located at 125 North 11011, Strawgrass Lane, a zoning permit to install a fence and a drainage easement.
Okay, thank you. This subject property is located at W125 and 11011 Strawgrass Lane in the Prairie Glen 2 subdivision, which is located west of Wasaki Road and south of Mequon Road. The property is zoned an RS4 PDD, the Prairie Glen North PDD, and the property property to the north is also the Prairie Glen North PDD. The property to the south is the Prairie Glen 1 PDD. And then to the east and west of the subject property are outlots or open space. So there's a 35-foot wide private drainage easement, which is along the west or the rear property line. It's highlighted here in yellow. The proposal is for a 4-foot high aluminum fence in the side and backyards to enclose the rear yard. The fence is proposed within the easement along the west or rear lot line. So this is a more detailed view of the property. You can see the easement highlighted in yellow and the proposed location of the fence. As indicated in their supporting information, the Abermans would like to install a 4-foot high aluminum fence in the side and rear yards. The fence will be located approximately 21 feet into the existing 35-foot wide drainage easement on the west side of the property. This particular easement is for surface water flow and does not contain any stormwater infrastructure, storm sewer infrastructure below ground. The 35-foot drainage easement and access easement in which the fence is proposed is separate from the outlot to the west. Here is, looks like above the lot, which is 47. Which is where a pedestrian trail will be mowed. So the proposed fence will not impact the approved plans for the pedestrian trail. These are some site photos. You can see the location where the fence will be. There's a yellow arrow on the screen pointing to that. Mr. Aberman provided these photos. And then here's just stepping back so you can see both of the location of the rear fence posts. So the primary concern, section 17.502 provides for fences and drainage easements at the discretion of the Plan Commission, with evidence that the location, design, and materials will not interfere with the drainage flow. And in the case of a subdivision, the homeowners association consents to the encroachment. Both of these are true in this case. Again, the primary concern is that there's no obstruction to the drainage easement, and the flow backing up of water does not take place. In this case, the aluminum pickets will be spaced and open at the bottom to allow for the free flow of water. So it's staff's recommendation to approve the zoning permit application to install a 4-foot fence in approximately 21 feet into the existing 35-foot wide easement on the west side of the property with the following condition. It shall be the responsibility of the homeowner to maintain a free flow of water within the drainage easement at all times. And I can answer any questions you may have. Mr. Aberman is also joining us via WebEx today. Do you have any questions for him?
Commissioners, any questions? Questions? There's covenants within your subdivision, and this is okay with the covenants as stated?
Yes, we received a letter of approval from the homeowners association.
Okay. Have you also talked to your neighbors and informed them of your plans to bring in a fence, Mr. Aberman? I think you're muted, sir. You shake your head up and down. That's it. Okay.
I'm talking to the neighbors.
Okay, good. Good. I'm familiar with a fence like this. I have one in my yard as well. It doesn't really impede anything. The worst part that I always had with it was trimming. It just added in trimming. Right. So, any other questions? Questions? Motion?
Move approval of Put that up here with 4.10, dot line, one for the village plan.
Alright, do we have a second? Did someone second?
I'll second it.
Alright, motion made and seconded, any discussion on a motion to approve? No discussion? Then all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Are there any opposed?
Opposed?
One opposed?
Correct?
Okay, Mr. Nellis? All right, one opposed, motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Abraham, for joining us and for your input, I appreciate it. Have a good night. Next item under new business is item D, Tammy Courtney, Art Vision, applicant for Arc Cafe USA 001 LLC, property owner located at North 90. Make it to that, or anything else that's around it, I mean, what's across the street is Burger King. Do they have anything like that? They kind of changed their look a little bit, it's more straight line, isn't it?
They have changed their look. The McDonald's just down the street recently has changed, completely rebuilt the building. And they went to a more boxy, very muted appearance. In fact, we'll be considering a new Taco Bell plan for another site along County Line Road in the next month or two. That presents another very basic, boxy look that's similar to the McDonald's.
Well, it looks a lot like the one on Highway 100 in like Blue Mound area. Commissioner?
Jeff, this is Tony Olszewski. Is this where you left off architecturally, except for the removal of the cap structure, the painting and such with the red and white stripes?
I'm sorry, Tony, could you repeat the first part of the question?
Yes, is this where we left off when we looked at this 2 years ago in terms of the architectural look of the building?
This proposal is identical to what was presented in 2017. If that's the question, yes.
Okay.
I would throw out there, I keep clicking to this rear elevation. This is the elevation that faces the Holiday Inn. Unfortunately, I think it needs something a little bit lower than what's presented here. Although we change the white stripes along the back, that might help break up some of the monotony of that elevation.
Get some response from KFC.
Specifically, we don't have anybody who's here this evening, so if we were going to just present our questions, we can, if we put the action and then present those and either get the information in advance of the next meeting, or we can require them to present, with somebody here representing them before we take action on it.
I would do that,
Even if they don't call in, I mean, they're able to call in when they're ready,
That's true. This is Tony again.
It would actually be better if they called in an unattended person at this point.
But that would be... I agree with you, Bill. I kind of, the thing I struggle with is the red and white striping. I mean, red or black and white striping is used on D-Day to identify airplanes because it sticks out so much. So my point is it too kind of in your face? Could the colors be even more, or I don't know, it's such an identifiable property in terms of the clashing colors. I think that's obviously what the intent of the franchisees and franchisors are, but is that what we want when we come off County Line Road? I actually like the old look better because of the more of the earth tones.
gotta do something about this.
I can try. Let me see if I can repeat that. Tony's concerns are about the boldness of the red and white stripes. He prefers the more natural, or the more neutral colors that are on the building. And so I guess you would like to hear from people at the franchise.
Yeah, if there's something less intrusive in terms of the color scheme.
Yeah, if there's something less obtrusive that could be done with the color scheme.
And I will second that.
Okay, motion made and seconded, no discussion on tabling. Then all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? None opposed? Then the motion carries, and then we'll be talking about this at the next meeting then. That takes care of all items on tonight's agenda under new business, and all items pretty much on tonight's agenda. Are there any announcements anybody would like to make?
Yes, this is Jeff. I just want to express my appreciation for everyone's patience with regard to my having recently gone down the Clover rabbit hole. And now that I'm sort of back, we do definitely need and want to get back on track with our 2050 planner. And at this point, the next soonest date we could have a workshop would be Monday, November 30th. It's the Monday following the Thanksgiving weekend. I would like to tentatively schedule that for a special planning commission meeting. Is there anybody know at this point whether they can or can't attend?
I probably can. Good.
I should be available.
I'm fine with it.
I should be available.
All right, that sounds good. Hopefully we can work out all our issues, but frankly, I have really set up for in October. I would like us to have a virtual meeting with our consultants participating as well, so we can avoid these hybrid meeting issues that we can't seem to shape. So at this point, unless you hear otherwise, that special meeting would be a virtual meeting entirely.
Okay.